Aston Martin Rapide Review. The Aston Martin Rapide's only genuine ancestor is the Lagonda that Aston Martin made over a quarter of a century ago. The idea of a new four-door, four-seat Aston based on the company's existing VH platform first saw the light of day at the Detroit show in 2006, shortly after Aston had been sold by Ford to its new band of shareholders, who green-lighted the car pretty much the moment they set eyes on it. Aston Martin describes the Rapide as the most elegant four-door sports car in the world. It's a bold claim from an increasingly confident car company, but not one that can be dismissed as hyperbole. Because from the moment this car was announced there has been an inherent correctness about the idea of a four-seat, four-door Aston Martin based on the already excellent VH platform. And in the metal the Rapide does not disappoint. It's an unusually long car, more than a foot longer than the DB9, but the fundamental proportions are certainly breathtakingly elegant. When people see this car they tend to smile and point. Question is, does the Rapide work as a four-seater in practice, and just how much of the Aston experience has been preserved in the transformation? And the biggest test it faces is whether the Rapide has sufficient luxury and presence to justify its startlingly high price next to the likes of the Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series and other rivals. The Aston Martin Rapide uses the same basic cabin and chassis architecture as all other Astons, known internally as the VH platform, and features the same bonded aluminium components to form a monocoque. The big difference, of course, is that the Rapide is more than a foot longer than any other current Aston in order to accommodate its new, individually tailored rear seats. Which means an awful lot of extra strengthening has had to be engineered into the car to maintain stiffness. Hence the rear door apertures aren't anywhere near as big as you'd expect, while the hatchback-style boot opening is also a fair bit narrower and shallower than it appears from the outside. The upside is that the Rapide's rear-wheel drive platform is unusually stiff for that of a big saloon and provides an excellent basis from which the all-round double wishbone suspension system can operate. The chassis also benefits from an electronic adaptive damper system with anti-lift and anti-squat geometry as standard, plus Dramatic 20-in wheels wearing bespoke Bridgestone Potenza S001 tires. Flush door handles are now an Aston Martin staple and appear on all four doors. They feel exceptionally well made, much like the rest of the car. The elongated Aston logo on the bonnet suits the stretched design theme displayed throughout the car and have to be the longest wings seen on any Aston so far. The chromed mesh grille is rumored to be the design template for all Astons in the future. It looks good, although how long it'll stay that shiny is debatable. At the back, rear lamp and fills can be had in magnum silver if you want, albeit for more money. Rapide badging on the tail is relatively discreet and can be deleted at no extra cost. Although outright performance is far from the Aston Martin Rapide's raison d'etre, it's still an extremely quick car. Not as bombastic or obviously fast as a Porsche Panamera Turbo, perhaps, but still rapid enough to silence anyone lucky enough to climb aboard and experience its performance firsthand. Any car that can reach 60 miles per hour from rest in less than 5 seconds and 100 miles per hour in just 11.2 seconds is always going to feel impressive in a straight line, especially when enjoyed from one of the rear seats. Considering that the Rapide weighs 2 tons, the way it performs comes as a genuine surprise. And because it's as refined as it is, you simply don't expect it to accelerate with so much vigor in the mid-range. Yet that's precisely where the Rapide is at its most effective. The way in which it gathers momentum so smoothly from 3,000 to 4,000 revolutions per minute in the higher gears is testimony to the strong, even flow of torque that's available. Rarely does it seem necessary to venture much beyond this point in the rev range. But when you do, another side of the Rapide's personality is revealed. Between 5,000 revolutions per minute and the red line it becomes an altogether more aggressive, more responsive machine, emitting a fairly magnificent V12 sound from its previously subdued engine bay. Better still is the way the paddle shift gearbox works in conjunction with the engine to deliver either smooth, lazy shifts when left in D, or more urgent, sharper changes when in sport mode and shifted manually via the paddles. It even stops extremely well for such a big, relatively heavy car. In the dry we recorded a 60 to 0 miles per hour time of just 2.44 seconds, and there is plenty of decent pedal feel to go with a strong sense of retardation.